this year, this offseason feel any different for you?
Got engaged. That's probably the only thing that's different. Played some golf and basketball, so those two were the only constant. But the other one was a little different. But no, kind of felt the same this summer.
Congratulations, by the
Thank you. I
way.
appreciate it.
What have you worked on this summer?
Um, a lot of it is once you get in your fifth year in college, you kind of, and I've been playing basketball since I was 3, 4 years old. Is you could add little things here and there, but I think the biggest thing is you kind of know yourself as a person and as a player, and you can always add little stuff, work on ball handling, work on finishing with your left hand, with your right hand. I think the biggest thing for me at this point in my career is taking care of my body, being healthy, and also just kind of tune up the things that I know I'm good at. You know, you kind of want to add all these things to your bag, and you hear on social media you want to add all these things, but at the end of the day, I know what I bring to this team. I'm going to shoot the three ball, I'm going to play defense, I'm going to play hard, and I'm going to sprinkle a little finishing here and there and stuff like that. So obviously it's good to work on your all-around game, but at the end of the day, I'm going to work on the things that I know I'm good at and try to perfect those things, and the other stuff just work on the side and try to get a little bit better at those every day.
You've said before how you'd be interested in coaching after you leave here. Mike was in here and told us that he let you install a play, I believe yesterday. What was that like? Take us through what that process was like. How fun was it?
Yeah, he told me it was the first time he's let a player kind of install a play. It's a play we've run. We were talking about it. We probably scored 100+ points off that play. You guys have probably seen it all the time. But it was just the trust he has for me to go out there and to tell the team this is how we're going to run the play. It means a lot, you know. Obviously, he could have gone out there. He didn't have to do that for me. He could have just went out there and told the team this is how we're going to run it. But the trust he has for me to go out there and kind of explain it to the players that don't know the play and kind of remind the ones coming back how we run it. So it was pretty cool to do that.
Rodney and MJ, they're going into their second season. What have you kind of seen about how they've progressed?
Yeah, I think they've matured a lot this kind of summer. You know, when you come in as a freshman, you kind of think you know how things are going, and you go through the year with these high expectations of like how you're going to play, and I think you kind of get humbled in the sense of it's a little bit different than how you think it is. You know, you're top dog when you're at your high school, and you come to college, and you're back at the bottom of the totem pole as a freshman. So I think they've handled it the right way too. I think they haven't gone into it thinking, and when I mean think they figured it all, I think they've been good in the sense of you tell them they want to be coached and stuff like that. But this summer, I think they've really taken it serious on what they need to improve on. And MJ got a good experience this past year of a lot of freshmen don't get to play that many minutes. So I think the experience he got last year will really help in this next year.
Hey, Hunter. Do you ever feel like you got back to 100% last year after coming back from your injury and kind of looking back on it, how would you describe how last year went?
Yeah. No, I don't think I got to fully 100% last year. Good enough to play. I don't think it affected me in any way of I couldn't have performed any better. But looking back on last year, it's kind of you can have the whole story of we have injuries and stuff like that, but that's part of a basketball season. You know, it happens to every team. You can't just throw yourself a pity party just because it happened to us. You can't make excuses. We still had opportunities that we didn't capitalize on. And I think that's just fuel to our fire this year. Coming into this year, we're going to kind of work hard. Don't want to have that same experience as we had last year and kind of build upon it.
Talked about being a fifth-year player. What's the mindset, or how is the mindset different from coming in and setting goals so early in your career? Do you still set goals at this point that you personally want to achieve, or is it more of a, hey, let me let the other guys eat, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have goals personally, but I think that the main thing is I just want to win. You know, this is my last year. We've won an ACC championship. We've kind of done stuff here and there. But at the end of the day, you want to go out on a high note. You want to compete for another ACC championship. You want to make it to the big dance and make a run. So I think that's kind of like the main thing. Obviously, if our team plays well, individual goals come with that. So I think that's just the main thing to worry about is team success, and the individual success will come along.
What's it like playing with guys like Robbie Barron and Mekhi Long, who also have a plethora of experience like you?
Yeah, it's been awesome to have those guys come in. Also, they're in their 5th years. Robbie's been really good for us as just a vocal leader. You have people come from different teams where they run things differently, so it's a little different at first. But to have them bring their experiences from where they've kind of played at and kind of how they've played and bring it to this team, it's been cool to kind of fill in different roles that maybe we didn't have in the past years. So to have Makai come in and Robbie, they lead in different ways, which is good because you don't want people to all lead. You don't need all people that are going to talk and lead that way. You need some people to lead by example. So I think them bringing in their experiences, kind of talking to the younger guys coming in, it's been really good for our team.
And then Sean said he made some defensive strides this offseason. What have you kind of seen from him as far as the
Yeah, Sean's been really good on the defensive side this summer from what I've seen. He's a competitor. He's going to compete.
Recording stopped.
He's hard nosed. He's going to put his head into anything. But I think he's really just toned in on focusing on the defensive side. Sometimes you can kind of get lazy in some kind of aspects. Not saying he does that, just in general on the defensive side. I think he's really focused on every possession, trying to be the best defender on the court, which has been good for him.
You've won an ACC championship here. What do you feel like? I know it's early, but do you get the sense of potentially what this team can do this year?
Yeah. I felt like this any year. And any Coach Young team, we're going to have fighters no matter what. We got guys that are hardworking. I don't think we ever go in anything we're entitled to something. We don't have any 5 stars. It's a bunch of 3, 4 stars. I didn't have any stars until I committed. So it's just one of those things we kind of just work hard and we want to win. So whatever comes from that comes from that. So I don't think we have – obviously our expectation is to win every game and win an ACC championship. But at the end of the day, we're going to go out there and work hard every day on the practice floor and every game and compete.
What are you most looking forward to for this season? And I know you came back. Going to Orlando, I'm sure that's going to be fun
Yeah,
for you.
that'll be cool. I'm probably have 30, 40 people there. A lot of just people from high school, family, friends, coaches, and stuff like that. So that'll be really cool. I think just enjoying it, enjoying the moment. You don't really get a lot of you don't get this time back. So really just being in the moment, enjoying it, experiencing this with this team and kind of taking it to the highest level that we can take it.
Hunter, obviously, Grant and Justin not here anymore. Do you feel like you guys have what it takes in-house to replace the production that those guys gave you last year?
Yeah, I think we do. Obviously, those were great players, and you're not going to replace them just how they were, but you can replace them with people with high character and have just as much talent in different areas. So I think with the guys we've added, with the incoming freshman class and transfers, I think we really complement each other well out on the court. And like I said before, we're just going to be a hardworking team. We're going to go out there and compete every day, and we love one each other. So our team chemistry, I think, has been really good that we got to really use when we went on our international trip to kind of start early with those practices. So I think our team camaraderie has been really well. I think that'll help us during the season.
Questions?
Please raise your hand for questions for Hunter. David, we'll start with you.
Hunter, Mike was saying earlier that he thought the injury affected you as much defensively as offensively. Would you agree?
I would. It was just when I came back, I don't think I fully trusted my elbow yet. So there were some things defensively where I couldn't really. It's hard to play defense with one hand. It's hard to play offense with one hand. Luckily, it was my left elbow, so I was still able to shoot it. But you'll see many times in games where I was just dribbling with my right hand on the left side and stuff like that. But defensively, it was hard. Just trying to trust it back in, trying to get deflections and things like that, putting my hand in, guarding a defender. But it was tough. But as the games went on, I trusted a little bit more, so it got better.
Was it a matter of pain tolerance, and how difficult was that to go through?
Yeah, that was just the biggest thing was pain tolerance. It's tough when you go through an injury mid-season, and then you see your team not performing the way we want to perform, and the biggest thing you want to do is get back out there and help them. So it's not easy watching from the sideline. So at the end of the day, I wanted to get back as soon as possible, and when we got the okay from the trainer and the doctors that I'd be safe to go out there to play, whether it was hurting or not, I went out there and just fight through it.
Thank you.
Ryan, I'll send it back to you in the room.
Hunter, how would you describe Tyler's game and how familiar with you or with him were you before, he came to Virginia Tech?
Yeah, so he came on his visit before years get mixed up. It might have been 2 years ago, I guess, 3 years ago. But I love his game. It's very smooth. I've loved getting to know him. He's a super nice kid, super funny. But he's been awesome for us in the fact that he would come up to me and ask me certain things. How do you cut this way? How do you come off this screen this way? But his game is super smooth. He doesn't seem like he gets rattled. His jump shot's super pretty. Coach Young says it all the time. Every time he shoots the ball, he thinks it's going in, and I believe that too. So that's one of those things where it's when you have someone like that on the court where you can have multiple guys that can shoot the ball and everyone thinks it's going in, it's going to be tough to guard. So I'm happy that he's here at Virginia Tech now, and I'm excited for the year he's going to have. Yep, thanks all.